Everybody, envelopers, DAO fans, Web3 lovers, and so on and so forth. This is another episode of the DAO Envelop podcast. Please welcome. My name is Eugene Crypto MC. I'm your host as always, and please give a warm online welcome to my today's guest. He's Jake Lubin. He's the CEO of Toshimon.io, and Toshimon is a browser-based online vaulting game that requires the use of non-fungible tokens from the Ethereum platform to act as immutable in-game assets. Sounds quite simple, totally understandable. So, Jake, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
So, I prefer to start to understand whom I'm talking to. You are this person, and tell us your story. How did you get into the blockchain space, and how did you become the CEO of Toshimon? If I'm not mistaken, before you were a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. There's another great competence I love to. Your story.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I kind of grew up behind the screen, playing video games, deep diving the internet. So naturally, I came across Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I started out actually mining ETH out of my parents' basement when I was in high school. So that was kind of my intro to crypto. And from there, I kind of fell down the rabbit hole. It went from mining to, messing with staking and DeFi protocols. I went into the whole yield farming, and eventually that led to NFTs. So I guess the move into Toshimon, I was originally just an investor in the project. And there was a falling out with the founder. He was pushed out of the project, and there was new leadership. Over time, it became pretty clear that there wasn't enough leadership, and that things weren't really getting done. So I stepped in to help with some marketing, but the biggest issue I found was capital. There was no development happening, and obviously that was an issue. So I made it my goal as CMO to go out, network, meet some investors, and kind of get the project in front of the right people. And I guess our CEO at the time decided he was kind of just ready to part ways with the project. So I stepped in and decided to take on the role of CEO. And so that leaves us here.
Well, I understand it. Congratulations. And what job do you love more, honestly, to be an CMO or to be a CEO? The CEO is more responsible. There's more responsibility.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more responsibility, but I gotta say, being able to kind of take decisions into my own hands it is, I think, the most beneficial thing that Toshimon has had so far. Not to sound cocky, but I mean, in the last couple months here, we have been making some serious progress, and I'm really excited for the next year ahead.
Excellent. So now this is the pitch time. Let's suggest that I'm sort of investor. Make a short pitch. What is Toshimon? How to play this game? Yeah,
so Toshimon's essentially a retro, nostalgic trading card game that we've put on blockchain. So it starts out with, we have about 160 different monsters, and those are all represented by trading cards as NFTs. Now, you can take your NFT, and once you connect to the game on our website, it'll read your wallet, and you can build your deck within the game, choosing which cards you want to use based on their stats, their moves, all of that, and build the best deck that you can. And from there, you can go in and battle against other players.
So this is exactly how NFT are being utilized in the game. Looks quite very simple, the simplest game I ever looked on, a podcast. Why Ethereum or Polygon? Why do you choose just these chains?
Yeah, so we were native to Ethereum, and it kind of just made the most sense at the time. That was where all the development was happening. but it became pretty clear that gas fees were going to be an issue. So we have a pack opening system where you open a pack to get cards. And on Ethereum, when the network started to become really congested, it was at times $300 in gas fees just to open one pack. So it wasn't sustainable on Ethereum, which is why we added a bridge to Polygon. And so that is kind of our goal with Toshimon, is to make it accessible for as many people as possible. We want it to be something that any device can run. It's not too heavy. And we want it to be cheap to play. We don't want people spending hundreds of dollars in gas fees just to interact with their NFTs and battle against other people. So Polygon was a great solution there. You can open packs to Polygon and it costs 10 cents rather than $100. And so we're kind of working on creating a bridge to be able to move all of the assets associated with Toshimon back and forth from ETH and Polygon.
So NFT and Toshimon are utilized as an in-game asset first. Could we consider them also collectibles, or could not?
Yeah, of course. We have created a rarity system. So there are, commons, uncommons, rares, then you get into the legendaries, and even further than that. So there is a definitely a collectability side to it of, collecting the rare Toshimon, and, even if people want to try to collect all of them. And so that's one thing we're working on now to add some depth to the game, is to create collections where if you get a certain set of cards, you can get a reward for being able to collect the right cards.
Well, so of course we may consider Toshimon as a play to earn game. Why you don't use the word play to earn, but nonetheless, play an NFT or blockchain game, and that's the way to earn money. What's the easiest way to earn money? And the simple question: how to earn money playing Toshimon? How would you answer?
Yeah, so right now, we're not as focused on the play to earn side of things. That's a term that you see getting thrown around a lot, especially with all of these blockchain games coming out. And so, eventually we want to create some healthy in-game economic systems so that people can earn money while they're playing, but it's also a sustainable model. And so I think the biggest issue in the blockchain gaming space right now is that a lot of these play to earn games aren't sustainable. Once money stops coming in, there's no way to earn money anymore. And it's basically just a downhill spiral from there. So we're kind of trying to drift away from that model. And so we are working right now, actually, as of last night, we just started the next stage of development here, which will bring a wagering aspect to the game. So that's something we're really excited about, which will allow people basically to wager on themselves, battling against others.
Well, got you. Our Envelop is dedicated to NFT because the main product of Envelop is Reverend Protocol of NFT. I will literally ask you about that. And the main focus of our podcast is to explore, to learn about all the possible use cases of NFT as a tool, universal tool for a lot of purposes, a lot of use cases. We are observers, we're explorers, and one of the goals of the podcast is to talk and to think by talking with different NFT users. That's why we inviting different NFT users, NFT creators in our podcast, and talk to them and listen to what they say. So what are your thoughts on NFT in general? I'd love to ask you, how do you see the potential of utilizing this tool? How NFT will reshape or recreate or disrupt our world in, let's say, upcoming 5 or 10 years? What are your general thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a pretty loaded question there. There's a lot to unpack with it, but I think, at the early stages here, we're seeing some really cool use cases come out, and we're also seeing a lot of stuff that, for lack of better terms, is I guess not very interesting. There's a lot of cash grabs out there. People just trying to make quick money with the hype that is coming with the technology. But I see a lot of really neat things being built. I think in the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of developments with, tokenizing physical things and kind of using blockchains to manage data and look at how items are being moved around in the supply chain. I think that's probably going to be one of the most beneficial uses.
Yeah, definitely. Every unique thing in our digital or physical world may be represented and will be. I firmly believe it will be represented in the form of NFT. We will believe in the form of, in the world of NFT, and considering the metaverses totally coming out of our life and everything's metaverse. But that's the topic of another good story. What regarding your native token of Toshimon? Does Toshimon have its native token, if I'm not mistaken, yes or no, or besides NFT?
Yeah, so we have our TOSHI token, and so that was originally deployed right at the end of 2020, and so our goal with TOSHI was to act as one currency, I guess the hard currency for Toshimon, and then there's also Toshi Cash, which I guess we would call the soft currency. And so with Toshi, our goal with that was to have a fair distribution. Originally, Toshi was airdropped to the first group of people who kind of got on board with the project. And so we've never, sold any tokens in private sales. We, the team had a very small allocation. Everyone on the team now, the tokens they own, they bought themselves. So it's really distributing tokens to the community to reward them for supporting us, and keeping some in a wallet for development. And so Toshi, right now we actually have one really great implementation for it is Toshi Fusion, which is the ability to fuse two NFTs together by burning Toshi tokens. And so we also have the soft currency, like I said, Toshi Cash. That's essentially more of the in-game currency that players will be using to buy items from in-game marketplaces. And so players actually earn that. One of the most interesting things that kind of grabbed my attention with Toshimon back a year and a half ago was they released what we called LP NFTs, or liquidity provider NFTs. So in exchange for providing liquidity to the Toshi token, users could redeem an NFT that would allow them to then farm Toshi Cash and then turn around and use that in game to buy more items.
Okay, so you didn't do tokens, any kind of token sales, if I heard you right. Okay, how large is Toshimon community for now? How many players have you already onboarded? How would you estimate the amount of people?
Yeah, so we're in beta right now, so we don't have like a high volume of active daily users. But we have, our community is pretty tight knit. Couple hundred active users, I would say right now. I think there's about 500 token holders, and we've got a few hundred people in our Discord. So we have a pretty small community at the moment, and we're kind of just focused on building over these next few months before really attacking marketing and building the community out even more.
Who are these guys who have been building Toshimon? I'm asking about the whole team of Toshimon, and where are you on roadmap now? What are your plans for 2022? What could you say?
Yeah, awesome. So we actually, I guess this is kind of we haven't made any of this public yet, so I guess this will kind of be the first that anyone's really hearing. I can't go into too much details, but we have actually partnered with a venture capital firm here in Columbus, Ohio. And so, we had been talking to quite a few investors. We ended up wanting to work with these guys out here because they have a lot more to provide than just capital. So we have a great team here of really well business-minded people, some cybersecurity guys, and so we're really excited about that. Our core team is essentially just myself and my partner Jacob, who is our Web3 developer. He's a fantastic developer, and he handles all of the smart contracts. And then also our Unity developer, Mark.
Well, and I'm wondering, how do you onboard new players on Toshimon? Because you said you are from, if I'm not mistaken, from video game area, and this is the previous epoch. And one of the main way of onboarding to blockchain gaming is to go to the non-blockchain gaming players, right, and showing them the crypto, the pros and cons of crypto gaming, and onboard them. Do you use this simple, easy strategy? Go to existing players and to show them crypto gaming?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of criticism from the traditional gaming community towards NFTs and blockchain gaming. And I think the biggest part of that is a lot of them see a lot of cash grabs, and they see a lot of games where the purpose of the game is to make money or to pay someone else to make money for you by playing the game. And so I think the best way to target the traditional gaming sector is kind of what we're going after, which is to make the game accessible, make it cheap, put it on multiple different blockchains, don't have transaction fees that are going to break your wallet. And also, of course, just to make it fun. And so that's why right now we're not exactly going too hard into the play to earn thing. Of course, we want to create these opportunities for players to earn currencies playing. We have systems set up where we want to reward people with NFTs and more items in the game to expand their gaming experience rather than make it just about making money. And so I think that's the biggest thing to get gamers is to make a fun, accessible game.
Excellent. Be fun, and you will have player, because people want to be fun, like some of the famous singers were singing. So sorry I interrupted you about where is Toshimon on its roadmap for now, and what are your plans for 2022? What to expect till the end of the year from your team?
Yeah, so right now on our roadmap, as I said, I don't know how much I can share yet about the recent developments, but as of last night, we actually just kicked off our next stage of development with a team we're working with called ChainSafe. And so they're helping us to develop really the backbone of Toshimon. And so one thing that we see with other blockchain games is that none of them are actually on the blockchain. Sure, some of the assets will be the NFTs, but once you get into the game, most of that's all happening off chain. And so we really want to hold true to the decentralization and the on-chain aspect that we've been preaching for this last year and a half, 2 years. So this next stage of development that's kicking off is going to facilitate every action taken in game or in battles to be recorded on chain in a decentralized way as well. Going fully decentralized might not be realistic, because that would kind of allow people to, I guess, decentralizing the game completely would mean that people could alter the game rules. So we obviously don't want that. So we are keeping, the game rules to a centralized level, but beyond that, everything that players do in game is going to be recorded on chain. which we're really excited about to be able to call ourselves a blockchain game and really have the game being played on the blockchain.
Okay. So, Jake, a couple of professional questions, as I promised, from our team. As I already said, the main focus of our Envelop team is creating successful creative and use cases of so-called wrapping protocol. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of wrapped NFT. It's quite simple. It allows to put any crypto inside an NFT and to utilize NFT as a sort of magic container, a magic wallet, even a branded luxury Prada or Louis Vuitton wallet for so many crypto, and to allow some features for these containers, such as time locks, royalties, rental mechanics, and so on and so forth. So it leads to dozens of different use cases for such web NFT, from gaming to even investment. And we're just exploring this huge area of use cases. So what are your thoughts on this concept of wrapped NFT? Do you find it may be useful for Toshimon purposes for now or for future? Give us your feedback.
Yeah, I think actually the wrapped NFTs have actually, it kind of simplified some of the processes that we already have in game. It's not something we're looking to implement immediately, but I think in the future it could definitely be something that we utilize. You know, for example, attaching, say, different move modules or different like healing items or whatever it be directly to your Toshimon NFTs. And so we have a process for that in game, but I think it could be really cool to have them actually be tied to one another. And, you know, same with recording history of people's Toshimon. Say you win X amount of battles and you can see that attached to your NFT, maybe with a badge or something like that.
By the way, regarding the price of your cards NFT of Toshimon, first of all, where to buy outside the game, and what's the price? How volatile is it for now?
Yeah, so our NFTs are on OpenSea as well as NF Trade, and we're on Ethereum and Polygon. So if you want to skip some gas fees, Polygon would be the best way to go. So the price of them is, you know, it varies a lot because of the different rarities. So you may find, I think they're on OpenSea right now, there's some common Toshimon as well as some like cosmetic items and other battle items as low as like 0.005 ETH. But then, you know, with some of the more rare cards and the legendaries and the more powerful ones, you know, those can get up in price depending on what people want to list them for. Everything's on the secondary market right now. So we released about 15,000 packs originally. And so players were able to open these packs to get their items. There are still packs on OpenSea right now that people are selling on the secondary. I think probably around 0.02, 0.04 a pack. So nothing too crazy there. But yeah, there's a ton of different items to look through. It's not the traditional OpenSea page with like, I guess you wouldn't really go off floor price because there's such a difference between each item.
Okay, I got a main idea. So why did I ask? Because the largest consequence of the wrapping protocol, the utilizing wrapping protocol, is total predictability of the NFT price. If you put, if you take a simple wallet from Fabric Heaven and put $100 into this wallet, it costs not less than $100. We don't understand why, because there's the banknote of $100 inside. This how wrapping protocol works. If you put, let's say, 20 BUSD into your wrapped NFT, it costs not less than 20 BUSD. If you want make your NFT price predictability, you have to use wrapping protocol. That's what I'm thinking about. And let me ask you kind of about another use case. You didn't do the token sale, but the question regarding token sale. One of the use cases of such wrapped NFT is selling tokens of a crypto startup to an investor, which are packed into this wrapped NFT. And this is more convenient for startup and for investor, because first of all, it helps to avoid token dumps in particular and so on and so forth. What are your thoughts on that? Because you did do token sale, but nevertheless, to think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a viable solution. The reason that we haven't sold any tokens, we're funding the project by giving up equity, is we don't want to devalue our investors that have been around since the beginning, who got these tokens, who put their own money into it. We don't want to devalue them by selling tokens over the counter for way cheaper to private investors and just have them turn around and take advantage of that. So I think using wrapped NFTs for that is a viable solution. You hate to see people getting dumped on by big players. I think it's worth attacking any possible solutions there.
Excellent. Thank you for your feedback. We'll use it in our discussions. So to finalize our talk, Jake, I want to ask you a couple general questions about Web3. How to learn? How would you suggest to learn about Web3 for ordinary people who are non-crypto at all? And what are your favorite resources about Web3? Podcasts, books, and so on and so forth.
I would say the best way to get exposure and start learning, I think, is just to connect with other people in the space. That's why I was really happy to see you invite me on here, because I'm stoked to learn more about Envelop and what you guys are doing. And so I think just exploring the space. I mean, from my perspective, I started out mining with no prior knowledge. I've never even built a PC before. So I think just getting on the internet, finding the first thing that sparks your interest, diving into that and seeing where it takes you from there. There's a lot of people in the space who have a lot to offer. So I think just connecting with people and, finding out what's going on in the space is the best way to go about it.
You should have said, just try to play blockchain or crypto, any crypto game, and you will have two points in one: join a community, connecting with people, and playing, having fun with crypto. That's the easiest way to learn crypto. And
you got to play around.
The final question for you: how to follow and join Toshimon community for those who want to start learning about freeway gaming?
Yeah, so I think the best way to go there would be to go to toshimon.io, or to follow us on Twitter at Toshimon with an underscore at the end. And then from either one of those places, you could find out some brief information, but you'll also see our link tree. And from there, we have a bunch of different resources, our Discord community, Telegram community, as well as we have actually a community member actually built an entire Toshimon Wikipedia. So that might be a really good place to start as well. The Wikipedia kind of shows you all the information you could possibly know about every Toshimon, every item.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you may find a link on toshimon.io in the description of this video, and join the game, join Web3. And I know you are already in the Web3 movement, so it's gonna be easy for you to see how Jake Lubin and his team has been creating this interesting game. Thank you very much, Jake Lubin, CEO of Toshimon.io, and Eugene Crypto MC will review on the episode of the Envelop podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, join our ambassadors program, read our digest, be the part of Envelop community, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and ask a question in our Telegram chat. And let's stay in tune. Let's be following each other, and we wish you good luck. Jake, thank you for your feedback. This has been awesome, and we will be greeting and we will follow your success too. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Eugene. I'm looking forward to keeping up with you.
Blockchain, BLOCK chain. digital money, smart contracts, NFT, IDO, decentralization, transparency, so many opportunities, but so many challenges. Some financial manipulators, by their actions, confuse blockchain solutions and block their development. The idea that the blockchain should bring copyright and royalties protection to the next level is quite old, but the realizations of these ideas are not perfect at all. There is another problem of determining the value of a particular cryptocurrency or NFT. These and other problems need to be solved. Fortunately, the blockchain infrastructure is evolving. My name is E, Mr. E, and I represent the Envelop project. Many things have already been invented in the blockchain today. Tokens, smart contracts, platforms for creating your own coins, NFTs, exchanges for buying, selling, and exchanging all these blockchain resources. Envelop is another step in the development of crypto technologies. The protocol that works with NFT and cryptocurrencies. The idea is simple but disruptive. Let's assume you have an NFT, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Using the Envelop protocol, you can wrap the original NFT accompanied with several tokens. Technically, you get a similar NFT, but what is the breakthrough here? Once wrapped, the token has a number of additional features that were not available before. The minimal cost appears. It is provided with coins wrapped together with NFT. An asset wrapped with Envelop has a number of properties that allow the original author to receive royalties from the resale of that asset. Various rules can be applied to the wrapped token. For example, a lock period for unwrapping. It secures the asset till the determined moment or safeguards it from speculation during the hype period. At the same time, wrapped tokens can be transferred and traded. These are just some of the scenarios for using Envelop. NFTs become more popular, and the tools provided by Envelop expand the opportunities of NFTs utilization. Wide application possibilities are achieved due to the fact that, in addition to the protocol, the project includes a number of subsystems. The protocol provides functions wrapping and unwrapping. Oracle mechanics provides asset valuation using analytical algorithms. Index provides a summary assessment of several NFT assets with the common criteria. The project has its own token, which connects all elements of the system. Altogether, this is Envelop, a tool in the blockchain world for building modern and secure systems in various fields. Find more info about the project on the website. Envelop. Make your NFT valuable. Just practical, no hype.